Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark,
And I'm Rob.
and today we're going to talk about the fact that Caitlin Clark is a generational talent, but is everybody else a generational talent that is being called a generational talent? And what's the definition in sports? And hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. Hit the notification bell when you do so you get notified of our next video. So people started calling Caitlin Clark a generational talent in college. I'm not sure when the first time that someone said it, but certainly in her senior year they were saying it. And they were right. And other people were saying, oh, no, you're overrating her and all that crap. But it turns out if you judge her first year and the kind of impact she's had on society, she's the most popular sports figure in America right now. She's obviously a generational talent, both in talent and in importance in sports. However, people are calling everybody else a generational talent too. Juju Watkins is a generational talent. Paige Becker's a generational talent. So we're talking about this terms being thrown out there very easily, just like the term legend and superstars. And I've had a problem with those terms being thrown out loosely too. So I want to talk about what's the definition of a generational talent, which of course there is no exact definition. However, if we look at the definition of generation, that is either 20 to 25 years. That's generally what's considered. Nowadays, it's more like 25 because people live longer and they have babies later. But throughout history, it's been 20 to 25 years. That's pretty clear. So generational talent for sports, it doesn't have to be the same thing, but it certainly can't be every player, the best player that comes out of college every year. Otherwise, it's meaningless.
Right.
So what does it mean in sports to be a generational talent? Is it only like you could only have a generational talent once every 20 years, or is it more like once every 5 years? So I guess that's the question I have. And I don't think there's an exact definition, but you can't say every player that comes out that the best player is a generational talent.
Right. I mean, is Anthony Edwards? Right. I mean, is Anthony Edwards now a generational player? Is
not yet?
Is Victor? It's like
no.
I mean, to find it, I think the society is so quick to put something. They say something, it's very quick to get out. Like, oh, they're this. Oh, they're that. And they scored 50 points a game. Oh, okay. They're really trend setting. Like,
and
like
you know,
watching,
do you have to have an influence on the sport other than your greatness for you to be a generational talent? I think that's another question you could ask. Obviously, Michael Jordan had an additional influence on the sport. I think LeBron and Steph Curry did. I think Caitlin Clark obviously will for obvious reasons. But in other sports, Tom Brady with 7 Super Bowls, but that's obviously a big influence on the sport. Patrick Mahomes with his comebacks, that's a generational talent, and 3 Super Bowls already at a young age. Those are generational talents, but you can't call everybody that just because they're the best player coming out of college. If you say more than once every 5 years, then it becomes meaningless. That's my opinion.
No, but you hit it right on the head, Mark. And how not just what they did, like I'm player of the year, 1 year, you're player of the year, but I mean it has to be like an influence. How are you influenced? Okay, you put player of the year that year. What happens after those years after? That's what generational means. It's what's going on with your play during the previous years after that, or during your years of play.
And you have to look at it another way too. How great are you in terms of all time? If people start rating these players, now that'll change because more and more people play. It's harder to get ranked in the top 10 and the top 20 and all that kind of stuff. But if you're not a top 10, top 15 player of all time, you're probably not a generational talent, because no matter what definition you're using here. So you can't call these people generational talents. So let's look at basketball. Obviously, those top 15 players you want to put, okay, I can see their generational talent. They all have MVPs. They all have multiple championships. But in football, which ones are generational quarterbacks? I don't know. I know that Peyton Manning and I know Tom Brady have to be. I know Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers have to be. Johnny Unitas was for his generation and Otto Graham for his generation. But you can't have every great quarterback that comes out that won the Heisman the year before a generational talent. I heard that said about Caleb Williams, that he's a generational talent. I go, he won 1 Heisman and he was better his junior year than his senior year. He never won a national championship. You can't call him a generational. He might end up that way, obviously, in his career, but he's not a generational talent. He hasn't shown that yet. So, like, people are throwing this around like it's crazy.
Well, like you said, you get into the comparison too. Like when during the playoffs last year with Edwards, I mean, he even stopped. He goes, "Oh, we're comparing you to like Michael Jordan." He goes, "Whoa, wait a minute."
He hasn't even won an MVP or a championship yet.
Even he said that. Like, wait a minute, come on now.
It's, I don't know what to say, but you can't keep throwing that word out. And legend and super, like people say superstar because he made an all-star team. He's a superstar. If you're not one of the top 5 players in the year, at least for a few years in a row, you're not a superstar. Those are the superstars. You're not a legend, stuff like that. Keep throwing them around. I'm old school. I don't like these terms being diluted. So I don't know if Juju Watkins and Paige Beckers are going to be generational talents or not, but they're not generational talents yet. Juju Watkins hasn't even won Player of the Year award. Okay, so we can just chill on her. And Paige Becker, she won as a freshman. That's unusual. That's the first player that ever do that. Yeah. But she's only won it once, and she hasn't won a national championship either. If people want to call that really important, which is overrated in college.
Use that championship thing again. Yeah.
So, and she may, but if you don't end up being a top 10 or 15 player all time, you're probably not a generational talent. You can't have them too often. These sports leagues, like basketball, been around between 75 and 80 years right now, right? So even if you do every five years, how many generational talents you can have? You have 15. You get 15, get 75. So if you have more than 15 generational talents, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, like with the WNBA, how long has it been? Like 25 years, whatever. With WNBA,
28 years. So to me, if you have more than 5. That's not right. More than 5 or 6 generational talents. That's not right. You can't have it more than every 5 years to me. I don't know the exact line you can draw, but it's certainly at least 5 years and up to 20 per generational talent, in my opinion. Otherwise, You're just diluting the term.
Yeah.
So let's chill on this generational talent. Now, C.J. Stroud had maybe the greatest rookie quarterback year ever. But it doesn't mean he's a generational talent yet. He's not even playing as well this year as he did last year. And he hasn't won any Super Bowl and had MVPs yet. But he may be. Who knows? But let's not call him that, Yeah. There's 2 or 3 great quarterbacks coming out of college every year. They all can't be generational talents.
Yeah, there's some coming in. Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh. A player out of Colorado, Travis Hunter, he plays defense and offense, which is old school. He's a generational player. He's going to be a generational player.
He certainly looks like he's going to be. I don't know if you call him that yet. He hasn't even won the Heisman yet, but right now he's the favorite to win the Heisman. He looks like he's the best cornerback in college football and one of the top 5 receivers possibly in college football at the same time. And he's playing a ton of snaps per game. So yeah, he looks like a generational talent as long as he doesn't get injured. I mean, I've seen 3 amazing interceptions he's had in just a 2-year period. Not just interceptions, amazing interceptions.
He comes across off of his player and intercepts. He did the last game. He wasn't even his player. He came off and made an interception.
Right. That one interception they had.
That
was scary good. I was in a trance after I saw it. But yeah, he's a generational talent, it looks like, but he hasn't really established that yet, but it looks like he's going to pretty clearly. Deion Sanders was generational talent. Okay, he's his coach. So, but you can call every player that's coming around.
Yeah, it's just like I said. It's like anything because of social media and everything's so quick now. People need the quick thing, like, he just dropped 50 points. Oh yeah, he's gonna be something. Okay, he dropped 50 points against TikTok Tech. Okay, yeah.
And again, I also think it's interesting. Does the person have to change the sport or have a big influence on the sport to be generational talent? I don't know. I think that's a personal definition, whether you add that extra criterion into it or not. But that'd be interesting to say. I mean, obviously, like I said, Michael Jordan did more than just being the best player. And I think Curry did with the 3-point shooting. But, I don't know if that needs to be. But if you're a great
player,
player, yeah, have at it, generational talent. But if you're just the best player coming out of college, get out of here. Yeah. I think it has to be somewhere between 5 and 20 years to me. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense definition wise. So let us know what you guys think. Like I said, there's no exact definition to this, but because generational talent for sports is going to be slightly different, I think, than generation. But if you go by the exact definition of generation, maybe it should be every 20 years. It shouldn't be more than one player every 20 years for you to call it generational talent. So I don't know. Right. Maybe 5 is too 5. That's why I'm saying 5 is the minimum. Maybe 5 is too low. But you can make the argument in basketball like that you had more than once every 20 years because like when Magic was there and Bird and also Jordan, those are all three were generational talents, and they're all in the same 20-year period. So I can see how it doesn't have to be every 20 years. And then you had LeBron come in, certainly Kobe, you would put in that situation. Then you would actually put in Curry too, and they were kind of all in the same 20 years. So it's three right there. So I don't have a problem with every 5 years. I just have a problem with every year.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to gauge which year. I mean, what you said. I think 5 would be the minimum. I think 5 because I mean that's when you really know when the person is really going to make an impact and make an influence on the game, and what game they're playing, what sport they're playing.
Right. So, anyways, let us know what you think, how you would define a generational talent. And if you like this video, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, what are you waiting for? This is like a generational channel. Did you not realize that? It's a generational talent. Once in a generation channel. We're most a unique channel in the universe because, as we said, when we started making videos, we don't care what skin color people are. So we got Martians that actually watch our channel. So that's why we consider ourselves the unique channel. Anyways, hey, and if you want to join us for our live show, it's a generational show. It's every Monday except for major holidays, 6-8 Eastern time. And Rob will be there again this Monday. So join us for that. And if you want to donate to this channel, there's super chats and super thanks down below. And there's a link to PayPal. And we'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.